Good morning. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lynn, and I do knit and crochet mainly, but I do a lot of other different crafts. I mainly do knit and crochet. I will admit that. I'm no longer in denial. Those are my two favorite. What can I say? I do other things, and I enjoy other crafts. I used to do cross stitch, but as I've gotten a little older, it's my eyes are not the best. So I tend not to gravitate toward that. The last time I did cross stitch, I was doing my best friend a is going to be a little keychain with the prince, the singer Prince, his symbol on it, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, holding up my glasses. Yeah, it was a whole thing. So I do loom weaving on an ankle loom, and let's see, I do knit, crochet, knit, ankle loom, cross stitch. I know there's more. I'm forgetting something, probably a lot of somethings, but anyway, that's not what this is about today. So we ain't gonna worry about that. Today is a tutorial. Now I've done, and I keep having to bring these out because I keep talking about them. So I've done 2 tutorials for koozies already. All right. One is a water bottle koozie that's opened on both ends. You know, you can just slide it over a water bottle. I tend to have a water bottle with me at all times. I freeze my water bottles. I fill it up, I put it in the freezer, and the next day I have ice cold water all day. But the only drawback to that is when I'm crocheting or knitting, I have to keep my hands dry, and I need my water at all times because I'm just that thirsty. So, I want to say 5 years ago, 6 years ago, maybe. No, it's been longer than that because I used to drink Mountain Dew. I would probably go through a 12-pack a day of Mountain Dews. And when I stopped drinking Mountain Dews, it was because I was drinking more water. And I noticed that I had to have it cold throughout the day. So I've been crocheting for 26, 27 odd years. Well, I mean, I've been knitting that long, and then crocheting probably 2 years shy of that. Maybe a year was in between. I can't remember. Y'all forgive me, okay? My memory is not what it used to be. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be. But anyway, I had to come up with a solution because I did want ice cold water all day. And I knit and I crochet and I work with yarn all the time. My hands can't be wet. So I came up with this idea. These koozies will not keep your drinks cold. The only thing these are for is to keep the condensation off of your water bottles and your cans off your hands. Now, it's not just for makers. You can do this for other people. They make great gifts. They're good scrap busters. And let me see. I'm gonna grab my notebook over here because I had this written down. Okay, so this one right here takes 23 grams of cotton, or 0.81 ounces. Not much. This, the single crochet version, takes 25 grams or 0.85 ounces. And the one I'm teaching you today, the double crochet one, takes 20 grams and 0.71 ounces. So, good scrap busters, great gifts. And like I said, it doesn't have to be for just makers. You know, it can be for anybody who doesn't want their hands getting wet when they drink something. Now, I do recommend you doing this before you open your can. This is the single crochet version that I did last week. Okay. And it has that lovely little bottom. So you have your built-in coaster. You can use it on glass tables, wooden, anything that you don't want to put a condensation or water ring on. You use one of these. Now, like I said, this is a single crochet version. And I know there is a ton of people out there who cannot or will not, don't want to do single crochets. So I said, well, let me figure out a way to do double crochets. And I did. It didn't take long. I already knew what I was doing at that point. So I made a double crochet version. Now, this is a little bit, you see how, this is pretty stiff. This is a little loosey-goosey. And you're going to have loosey-goosey when you work with double crochets versus single crochets because just that's the structure of the stitch. And it works just as well. Now, I've not tried the double crochet version. I'm sad to say I have not tried it to make sure that just because it's a little bit more open, it should wick the moisture and keep the moisture in just as well as the single crochet version. I just haven't used it yet. So I wanted to, I just got finished filming the tutorial maybe 30 minutes ago. And I've already had my soda for the day, so I haven't had a chance to test it. But I don't see it being a problem. Now, the one thing about the, I know it won't cause a problem on the bottom because these are some pretty tight stitches because you're doing 2 in each one to do your increasing. So you won't have that problem on the bottom. Now, in the tutorial, I do talk about the concave or the bottom of this being rounded out, and I said the bottom of a soda can is concave, so you won't have that to worry about. And I'm going to show you that is the truth because look at that. It just pops right up in the center of that, and you don't have to worry about it. So I'm going to go ahead and stop talking and let you enjoy the tutorial. I do hope you do enjoy it and you do enjoy what you can make off of my tutorials. I am used to making things off the top of my head. I'm not used to writing them down and I'm not used to making tutorials out of them. This is my 4th total ever tutorial and I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with it. I'm learning new techniques to try to improve the quality of the tutorial and the videography. Aha, I think that's the word, videography. But the filming of it to make it a more pleasant experience for y'all to watch. Now, I cannot change my hands. They are what they are. I do crochet a lot off screen so that you don't have to sit there and watch my hands flounder around, so to speak. So if you like this content, give me a thumbs up. If you like it enough to subscribe, that would be awesome. And I'm going to stop talking and let you get to watching this tutorial. I hope y'all have a great day and enjoy what you're doing today. Bye-bye. Hello, hello, hello. today I want to walk you through making. Now, you've already seen two different koozies that I've made. I've made a, um, sorry, I didn't have, let me see. I have made one that goes all the way through. See, this is for, make sure I'm in frame here. All right, just checking my setup. Okay, so this one is for bottled water. I drink a lot of water, and usually what I will do is I live on well water, so I refill my bottles all the time, and I freeze them so that I can have ice cold water all the time. This is a single crocheted um, open bottle koozie. And the reason why I say open is because the ends are not enclosed. Then I made this lovely little baby where it has a bottom on it. Now, this is in single crochet, which we will be doing this today, but we will be doing it in double crochet because I know there's a lot of you out there that cannot stand to do single crochets. And this is the one I made in the tutorial in yellow. But you see how, this is a very tightly woven situation. The lovely thing about these, any condensation that you get from cans, you won't get on your hands, and it's got the built-in coaster. So you won't mark up glass tables or wooden, you won't get the condensation rings on wooden stuff. All right, now for today, I am using Lily Sugar and Cream yarn. You will need a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, pair of scissors, and a lovely little tapestry needle, some kind of yarn needle to weave in your ends. Now, I do apologize. I have been painting, so there's paint on there. It's everywhere. I was having some problems getting FedEx deliveries, and I took it upon myself to paint a sign for them to bring my stuff to me. So I have black paint in the oddest of places. Anyway, so getting on with our tutorial, I am going to do the can koozie that I showed you, the purple and the yellow one, the last two. I'm going to do those. This one will be in pink, obviously, because I'm trying to use colors that show up on the camera real well. But this will be in double crochet, so it's going to be a little bit more floppy because the structure of the stitches, but it works up easier on your hands, and it's doable. This is take 2 of the tutorial. The first one I did, I had gotten myself out of frame a couple times, and I don't want to do that to y'all. So let's get going. I'm going to do a magic ring, magic circle. People call them different things, but don't fret. This one, I do a double loop, okay? And a double loop ensures that it will not work out. And then I crochet over my end as well, so that further stabilizes it. So what I do is I grab the tail in my right hand, use my index finger and my middle finger, and I wrap it around. 1, 2, 3. Then I grab that tail with my other 3 fingers, my thumb and ring finger or thumb and pinky. And then I reach under the first two and I grab that third and I bring it up like this. I stabilize it with that that middle finger. And then I just simply chain one. Okay. Now, I do that all before I show you what I'm doing so that you could see that I do have these two loops. This is what's going to add security to where it doesn't work out the first time you wash it or the moment. And I say this, you're not really going to wash your koozie, but a lot of people make this when they're making garments or, blankets and whatnot. So if you do the magic ring, magic circle, um, do this double loop method because that just adds security to your piece. So anyway, I have done a chain one. I want to do chain three. Sorry, I was getting my words mixed up. So I'm going to chain two more real quick. All right. Now, that is most everybody's way of starting a double crochet. I'm not that person. I'm going to show you what I do to start my double crochets. So I'm going to go back to the chain one. And that's why I hesitated a moment ago because I was going to do this. I was going to teach you this stacked single crochet originally. And then I almost changed my mind just now, but I'm not. I'm going to show you. All right. So after you do your magic circle, magic ring, you chain your one. Grab the rings with your thumb and your middle finger. Go back in and make a single crochet. Okay. Real easy, easy peasy. All right. This is where a stacked single crochet will give you the height that you need for a double crochet. All right, you see these two loops right here? Don't do anything with that first loop, that one closest to the hook. Go in from the right to the left underneath that far left loop. Grab your yarn, bring it back over, bring it through that loop, and you have two loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through two and do another single crochet. This is what they call a stacked single crochet. I love this thing. This gives you the width that a chain three will never give you. So this is my personal preference. To each his own. I like to use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around. I need 11 more double crochets in this ring to give me a total of 12 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3. Oops, I'm not the fastest crocheter, but I joke with everybody and say, it's not about speed for me, it's about the journey. And it is for the most part. Oops, hold on. How many have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I've done 5 singles. Blah. 5 double crochets plus that standing single. That will in the end count as one. So you can count it now, or you can just count this actual double crochets that you make and make 11. So what I say, 5? Yeah, 5. All right. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Now, I cannot see my screen, so I'm hoping that 90% of that was in frame. I won't know till I review it. So we have, I'm going to count backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, that's my 11. And then I have this standing single crochet, which is my 12. Okay. So this is the part of the magic circle that a lot of people get frustrated on, but don't. It's very simple. You see your tail. That little spot where the tail is coming out of, grab that loop, okay, and pull. Just pull it tight. That's all you have to do. All right. And I tend to pull it pretty tight. And then pull your tail tight, and you have a perfectly done magic circle, magic ring. Now, go back in here. Make sure I'm in screen. See, all right. See this little lovely thing right here? I have marked this so that I have a visual representation of something that I can see to try to keep myself in frame. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, or else I wouldn't be remaking this video. All right, so what I did, I'm sorry, I was just doing it while I was chit-chatting. Okay, so I'm going in the top of that stacked single crochet, correct? Now, I'm going to count just to make sure that I am in the right spot, because sometimes, you know, we are human and we make mistakes. So, I'm going to try to do this while I have my hook in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so I am indeed in the correct stitch. And if you're ever in doubt, just take a couple seconds and make sure that you're in the right spot. All right, so this is my tail. I'm going to bring my tail in front of my working yarn so that I can slip stitch in that hole, okay? This is where I'm going to start crocheting over that tail. All right, now we're going to do increase on this row. And on my increases, I'm going to, on this particular row, we're going to do an increase in every stitch. So we're going to do 2 double crochets in every stitch. And I do chain 1, but that's only to give me a little bit of height to do that stacked single. So you go back in where you slip stitch, make your single crochet, and again, ignore this one closest to your hook, go underneath that loop, that post, okay? Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through to make your single crochet. And there's your first stacked single crochet, your first double crochet. Now go back in that one because you need to double them. You need 2 in each stitch. So there's your first increase. And then just do 2 double crochets in each one around. And see, this is what I did on my last video, the last double crochet tutorial that I just did. And when I'm working my stitches, my elbows naturally start to bend to bring my work closer to me because it's easier for me to see. My vision is not the best, and it's just habit to bring it to where it's closer into focus to my eyes. So if I don't think I'm getting off screen because I have this visual representation right here. And if I do get off screen, I will make this video yet again. But I'm not going to do all this on the video. I mean, I'm not going to film all of this precisely at this moment. I just wanted to get you started. So where I slip stitched, I did my stacked single, and then I did another double crochet in that same stitch. And then I did 2 in the next stitch, and then 2 in the next stitch. So do that all the way around, and I will join you in a moment. Okay, I should have told you to pause the video, and if you have to rewind, I do apologize for that. All right, so I had to make a little bit of an alteration. This is my last stitch that I just did, and I only did one double crochet in it. And I'm going to count around and show you why I had to do that. I don't know. Honestly, don't know how I got here. I will admit it. But let's count around and we'll see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, so I had 2 double crochets in this one, and it was bringing me here when I counted around, and I can't do that. So I was like, well, the lovely thing about crochet, especially if you know what you're doing and, you don't mind improvising, I guess is a good word to say. You can do it this way. So in that last stitch, just do 1 double crochet, and then go in the top right there, slip stitch, and you will have doubled you would have, well, almost every one except that last one. You will have increased in every stitch. Okay, now in my other can koozie, I explained that the bottom needs to be 2 3/4 inches in diameter to fit the bottom of a can koozie. I mean, fit the bottom of a can. I did not bring my tape measure back in here with me for this tutorial, and I do apologize. But if you have one, you can measure it. You don't need to measure it after round 2. We're going to do a round of half double crochets, and you can do it after that round. So let me pick this back up. Now, this is still my tail from my magic circle, my magic ring. I just keep going around until it's covered completely. I mean, that's just a preference of mine. So where you slip stitched it together, do you a chain 1, do a half double in that same stitch. Okay. Now, on this one right here, on this round, we're going to do a half double in each stitch 3 times, and then we're going to do an increase. We're going to do 2 half doubles in the following stitch. So this is 1, 2, 3. Now in this next stitch, we're going to do 2 half doubles for our increase. So 1, 2. All right, and you've done your first increase. What our goal is, the thing that I have found out when making this tutorial and making the previous tutorial, you need 30 to 32 stitches around. 30 is better than 32. I'm just going to admit that, especially so you can get a snug fit on your can so that it's just not sliding off. So we're going to do that again. All right, so we're going to do a series of 3 single or 3 individual half doubles in each stitch. So 1, 2, I'm getting my words tied up today, 3. All right, so I've done a half double in each of those 3 stitches. Now I'm going to double it up, and I'm going to do 2 half doubles in the next stitch for my increase. And yes, it would be easier if I didn't have that little crochet end. Go back in that same stitch. Oh, I think I just went off screen. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So now we have 2 increases so far. We have 1, 2, 3. Then we have our 2 half doubles. Then we have 1, 2, 3, and then our 2 half doubles. So do that all the way around. Now at the end, we may have to do a little bit of improvising. The way I wrote it on my little pad, and you can see my little chicken scratch, you know, I'm used to doing things when I'm making things. I'm just used to making them and not keeping track of what I've done. But when I wanted to teach a tutorial on it, I was like, oh, I have to write this down. So it's not perfect every time. So I'm doing 1, 2. Oops, those are single crochets. Jeezy Pete, I done got to talking and I'm doing the wrong stitches. All right, half double crochets. All right, 1, 2, trying to 3. Okay, and I'll just snip that off in a minute. All right, so now it's time to do our increase. So we do 2 half doubles in this next stitch. So 1, oh, I got to get me some extra yarn. 1, 2 in that same stitch. There's our increase. All right, so I'm not quite halfway around, but let's just kind of count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so I have 15 already. I'm going to keep track and do 15 more, and hopefully I don't have to end up here, but hopefully I will end up right here. I will meet you back, okay? So go ahead and pause the video and keep in this same pattern. Do half double crochets in each stitch for 3 stitches, and then do 2 half doubles in the following stitch, and I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Now we're going to go ahead and count this real quick and see what we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. All right, that works out beautifully. I'm going to put this right here in the center of the thing. Make sure I have to stand up to make sure I'm in dead center of the screen. It looks like it. All right, so I have 29 already, and I have 1 stitch left to do. I just did my last increase, so I did the 2 half doubles in that stitch there, and I can go back in and just do 1 more half double in that last stitch, and that's 30 stitches. And then I'll slip stitch into the top of that little beauty right there, and we are done with round 3. All right, now this is where we start to go up the side of our can. Now, if you'll look, if you've never done anything through the back loop, I'm going to show you exactly where to go in. This is your lovely little V's of the top of crochet stitches. You always go in, when you're doing through the back loop, go in this back loop right there. So you just slip it up under, just like that. Just like that. See? Really easy when you look at it from above. Now, when you're looking at it from a project like this, it's kind of hard. So you kind of have to tilt it up, and that's fine. There's no shame in that game. I have to do it all the time. But anyway, so this round, I've done it 2 ways. You can do another half double round through the back loop, or you can do a double crochet round through the back loop. I'm going to go ahead, for those of you who like the simplicity and the quickness of the double crochet, we'll just do that. All right, so I'm going to chain 1 just to get a little bit of height, and I'm going to go back in, do a single crochet, go through that. We're doing the stacked single, okay? So we're going to ignore this first one, go up under this second one, bring it back through, do that second single crochet, and there's your stacked single crochet. All right, then oops. Y'all see what I did? I have to rip that out. I apologize. I'm not going to delete that off the video because I want y'all to see. Be careful of your mistakes. All right, so I have the slip stitch here and I have the chain 1. So I'm going to go in that back loop. I just got finished telling y'all that we were going in the back loop, and I did it around both loops. So we're going to go in that one. We're going to make our first single crochet. Now I'm going to go for my stacked single. So I'm going to ignore that first loop, go in that second loop. And then I have my stacked single, which is, in this case, a replacement for our double crochet. All right. Now, I got to stand up again. I think I'm moving this thing. No, it just feels like I'm moving it. It feels like it's getting further and further away from me. But anyway, so we're going to do double crochets through the back loop. Now, we're not increasing. We are just double crochet in each one. Okay? Through the back loop. Now, this will give you the bottom edge of where the can rests in your koozie. All right? So go ahead. You can pause this, and I will meet you back at the end of it. At the end of this, I'm keeping this kind of tilted a little bit so you can see that I am still going in the back loops. All right. Put this down here. All right. So you can see the little ridge happening. And when we get all the way around, that will be a little bit more obvious, okay? And I'll show you how that actually, we're building this, the bottom side of the can koozie. I will be right back. Go ahead and pause it. Okay, welcome back. Now, I told you that once you started working around, you would see that kind of defined bottom edge. So that's where we're at. And don't worry if it's bowing out a little bit on the bottom. That's to be expected because the looseness of the double crochet stitch combined with the little bit tighter version of a half double. And it's okay. If you'll ever look at the bottom of a soda can, it's concave. So that will fit up in there nicely. All right, so I did my last double crochet. Let's count it out. All right, put my hook down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Perfect. Okay, that is beautiful. So go in at the top of that stitch there, grab that puppy, and do your slip stitch. Now, come on, it's so tight. I think I'm splitting my yarn. I might have split it a little bit. That might have been why it was so difficult to get that through. Now, from here on out, we're going to do the same thing for every row. We're going to do a total of 7 rows from this cast on, not cast on edge, from this through the back loop edge, okay? And the way it's easy for me to count, you can see, even though it mimics a double crochet greatly, you can still see that that's a little bit different. So you can always look back at that and count from there up. And that way you know you have your 7. But if you feel better, put a stitch marker in place. All right, so what I do my slip stitch to get me a little bit of elevation. I go back into that, make my single crochet. I know, you're probably getting tired of me explaining how to do a stacked single, but I don't mind. Go back in that furthest to the left loop, make your single crochet again for your stacked single, and then just do, oops, my yarn is slipping off my hand, and just do your half doubles all the way around, and do 7 total rows of this, so including this row right here. So this is 1, 2, go all the way to 7, and I will meet you back here. Okay, go ahead and pause it. Welcome back, welcome back. Okay, so I have done 7 rows of double crochets, and I'm about to join in my very last slip stitch. Go into the top of that stacked single, and usually this is where I would say go ahead, cut your end, and I would weave it in with you on the screen. But I'm not going to do that with this because with this yarn, I'm not super happy. This is one of the older cones that I have. And when I say old, we're talking almost to, well, actually I could. Yeah, I will. It is old. It is old. And I'm not, contrary to popular with my nails and my scissors, I'm not a huge pink person. But I do have occasion to where I do pink. So, you know what? We'll just leave it at this. We will take it, and I will. All right, so what I normally do, this is the way, I learned this from Tamara at Moogly, but I pull this through, okay? I pull that all the way through, and I will grab my needle. I have to do this off screen so that I can actually see it, so sorry about this. Okay, so what you do, you see, that's where we did our slip stitch. All right, so we go up under the 2 loops of the next stitch, go through, all right, and now we're going to go back through the one we just came out of. And so you're going to create that beautiful top. Look at there, you just made a stitch, and it's like an invisible join. Now, if you can't tell, this is the one we just made. This was our slip stitch, and I can tighten it up to kind of show you. Oops. Let me loosen it back up a little bit because I like it to be matching the one right beside it. And my slip stitch was a little tight, and that's okay. But this is the one we just made by doing this. And then I go inside, and I go down. I always like to go up under where I took my yarn through from the previous row. And usually I will go 3 or 4 stitches one direction, 3 or 4 stitches in the other. and then do that one more time. So basically I'm going in 3 different directions, so there's really no way for it to pull out. All right, so I just came out of this stitch, and I'm going to go back in this one to go this way. Usually I will go on the other side of it just to get a little bit extra coverage. You know, it never hurts, right? Oops, I pulled my thread out there. All right, hang tight. I'm going to go off screen so I can see to put this thing back in. All right, come back to screen. Sorry about that. Oh, just I can't see to thread that needle. All right, I'm trying to get out of my own way. All right, so I came up right here, and I'll go back in this way. And that way, I've gone that way, this way, and now I'm going back that way. So we are covered on secure end. And then we'll take my lovely little scissors, snip that off, and we have our completed double crochet can koozie. Now, since this yarn is so old, you can kind of see a little bit of thickness right there where you did that standing single crochet. But in the end, it won't matter. I'm going to flatten this thing for a second. Looks kind of weird though. No, I'm not going to flatten it. But anyway, if you look at it, you know, you can kind of see it a little bit. But it's not as obvious as, say, a chain 3 and then the chain 3 and double crochet gap, correct? But anyway, I hope y'all have a great afternoon. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. And I hope for those of you who hate the single crochet, I hope this is a better situation for you to do. So I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.